Passing down stories has always been a part of Black culture. At SableCon, we keep that tradition alive with comic creators, writers, and artists telling their stories. Cosplaying provides a chance for Black fans to represent the characters they knew and loved. To celebrate Black nerd culture, SableCon is hosting a convention on May 20 to 21, 2023 at Ace Event Center in Knightdale, NC, along with a cosplay contest. Be on the lookout for this convention.
Okay, I don't know what happened there. Let me see. I think I tried to share my screen wrong, and that just threw off everything. Let's see. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah. So I shared this. I shared this real quick. Sorry about the mess up. I wasn't trying to throw you off or nothing like that. So I shared this video of they do this at certain jiu-jitsu schools. They promote people and they do the little gauntlet where they slap them across the back with the with the belts and stuff like that. And that's never been my thing. That's never, so I shared that I would never do that in a jiu-jitsu promotion. I would never do that. And I never have. So I'm not gonna keep it there. I'm just it was funny to me because of the whole Harriet Tubman doing cartwheels in her grave. Because the optics don't look good. They don't look good at all. I can understand it. But some people is whatever. But me, it's not really about the look. So I'm going to talk about that. I was always I've seen that back in folks have been doing it for a while, and I seen it like way back in 2016, 2015. My instructor, Jake Whitfield at Goldsboro Jiu-Jitsu, shout out to them and all my family there. Those are my guys and my gals and all that good stuff. We've talked about that before. And I was always like, no, I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. I was like, Jake, if that was part of promotions, I ain't doing it. And I was glad that my promotions were always based on me knowing the basics of jiu-jitsu and having to demonstrate what I do know. Got a whole video of my my 1-year-old beating up on my oldest. She ain't even one yet. That's next month. But and it was and Jake always emphasized the importance of your promotion should show what you learned throughout that belt's duration. And do you know how to defend yourself? Do you know where you should be at? Do you know how to keep yourself safe? Do you know how to get out of a bad position? Do you know how to get to a better position? Do you know how to keep yourself from getting submitted? All this type of stuff. And then with blue belt was more of what you're learning and how you learn yourself going to purple belt. And that was always the thing that I admired about the jiu-jitsu that we did at Goldsboro Jiu-Jitsu with Jake Whitfield. And so that whole whipping thing, I was always like, nah, I'm just not doing that. If that's part of me getting promoted, I won't be getting promoted nowhere. I don't care who do it. I don't care who is promoting me. I'm not doing it. I'm like, nah, I can't. Y'all want me to? No. And so part of this comes from, it's not even a jiu-jitsu thing. Part of it is because I don't like just standing around getting hit and beat on. I just don't. I don't like it. I don't care if it's tradition for folks. I don't care who's doing it. I'm not fine with just getting beat on. One of the issues I've always had was like even when I played football, like I dislocated my shoulder. But one of my issues with football was always the fact that I was like, okay, I'm tackling this person, they're doing whatever to me. This doesn't seem in my mind, and I could be completely wrong, and that it is what it is. It never felt like even. It never felt even to me. Like I hit this person, they do whatever, and they can't really do anything. They can push me and everything, but that's not good enough to me. In my mind, it was always like, yo, if you hit me, I get to hit you, and then you hit me back, or we figure out what we're gonna do. I just it didn't register, and I like playing football. I like playing football. Dislocated my shoulder, had end up dislocating this shoulder a lot. Just ruined it. This shoulder is all kind of messed up, but I still did MMA and jiu-jitsu, so it never dislocated during a fight or a match. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. But one of the main reasons is like I never got into like just getting hit, and this is why, going back to the video, this is why I'm not cool with it. It's like growing up, it was always a thing where my grandmother and my mom and everybody would be like, yo, don't let nobody put their hands on you. Don't let nobody be beating on you, hitting you, doing all this stuff to you, and you not doing nothing back. Because if you do, you're gonna have to see us. And even my uncles would pop up like, man, you let this and that happen? Like, no, it wasn't like that. It didn't matter who it was. My grandmother was a lot raw when it came to certain stuff. She was like, even if it's a girl, if she putting her hands on you and beating up on you and stuff, you need to stop her. Don't just stand there and be getting beat up on. We ain't letting that happen. So one of the times it really stood out to me was we had recently moved to North Carolina. I was still like in middle school or something. Me and my family moved to North Carolina, and I'm in class doing whatever. We would talk during gym. We'd be this. It was at what school was that? In Woodington. It was called Woodington. It was called Woodington Middle School. I believe that's what it was called. I'd have been to all kind of schools. So we go and I'm there. I'm still learning everybody, stuff like that. I'm still learning the whole atmosphere. I don't know nothing about North Carolina. This is my first time being out there. Outside of all I knew was Compton and Moreno Valley, Riverside, Oceanside, stuff like that. And so I go out there. Everything is whatever, and they had gym on the inside in North Carolina. I was always used to it being outside. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is whatever. The guys I'm with and the people I'm with at the school, what happened? I believe we were talking about like comics and stuff like that and the X-Men cartoon, and we were getting a little hype or whatever the case may be. And it was a gym teacher. I forgot what his name was. All I remember was that he looked like a skinny, sickly version of Don Fry, like or he'd look like if there was Don Fry, Tom Selleck, he'd be the middle brother. It just didn't do nothing with his life and became a gym teacher. He'd just be the middle brother. And so he had this old thick ass mustache and shit. And he was like, y'all better be quiet and shut your mouth. And so I was like, okay, whatever. And then the other guys kept getting loud. They kept getting loud. And then so we playing, talking about it, running around, doing some. The other guys running around, going up and down the bleachers. He was like, that's it. All four of y'all, get in my office. I'm like, my stomach started hurting a little bit. I'm like, oh man, what are you gonna do? We about to get in trouble. I was like, man, this don't make no sense. So we go in the office. And I'm just standing there like, what he got us in this office for? We all standing here and just looking wild and shit. My like I said, my stomach hurt. You know how I go. You get the bubble guts. You were like, oh God, what's gonna happen? Am I gonna get in trouble? Or they gonna expel? They gonna call my parents? All this other stuff. So the dude is like, look, y'all been making all kind of noise, starting all kind of stuff, and just being loud over there talking about your comics and this and that. I'm tired of you, all of you. Now I can send you to the no. I'm gonna call your parents, or wait. He said, I can call your parents and send you to the office, or I can give you a paddling and you can just leave it there. And I was like, a what now? He was and the other three guys that were with me, mind you, I'm new from California. I just moved. This is like a few months after me moving to North Carolina with my family, from California, from Southern California. He talking about a paddling. I was like, a paddling? Look, whoa, wait a minute. What is that? And all the guys looked at me, and he even looked at me. Everybody looking at me. I'm looking. We all looking back and forth. And I was like, paddling? You gonna do what? You gonna he was like, this is a paddle and this is that, and I'm gonna hit you with it two times. I was like, whoa, player. I'm like, nah. Nah, we not gonna do that, Playboy. We not doing that. You not gonna just be hitting on me. And you ain't my parent, nothing, dog. Nah. He was like, oh, so you think you're just that? I'm like, look, you ain't gonna be hitting on me. Hair on the back of my neck, standing up. I'm frustrated. I'm breathing heavy, like I'm about to fight, which I felt like I was, because some random grown man talking about paddling me. And so I'm like, nah, you just gonna have to call my parents and suspend me. I'll take that. You ain't gonna be hitting on me, player. And then so everybody else is looking like, what? I'm like, nah, no, I don't do that. I don't know about y'all. Is this what y'all do out here in the South? They're like, nah, I ain't with that. And so he was like, you're gonna do it. I'm like, no, I'm not. And if you do, we're gonna be fighting in here. It's like, we're gonna be fighting. I don't care if you grown, older than me. You're not gonna just be hitting on me and I'm not doing nothing. I didn't put my hands on you or nothing. So why you talking about putting your hands on me? Why you, like, how does this work? This is some new stuff. I don't do this. I don't know nothing about this from where I grew up at. So after that, he was like, well, I'm gonna give you a chance to change your mind. I see him do it to the other three guys, and I'm like, y'all just stand there and just take this? Like I was like, no, nah, man, nah. They're like, nah, it ain't changed. You're going to send me wherever you send me. So he sent me to the office and stuff. My parents come get me. I was like, Mom, I wasn't letting him hit me. Like, that just was. She was like, nah, that ain't happening and stuff. So I think I got suspended. I think I got suspended for the rest of the day, or like the next day or something. Then I had to go back. But I was just like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Like, growing up, it's always been a thing where it's like, because I've said this before, I was always like the little quiet kid in school, right? Like, I wouldn't get into too much stuff. I wouldn't start too much or whatever. Then people started taking that, because I was tall and quiet, taking that like I wasn't gonna do nothing. So then after a while, after my grandmother's then was like, yo, you better stop this. I just was like, I'm gonna start buzzing folks upside the head, and it just went from there. So I was like, nah, that we not doing that. So it's always, after a while, it was like, nah, nobody not gonna be beating on me. And I've always tell my daughters that too. Like, don't stand there and let nobody just be beating on you. Don't stand there and let nobody hit on you, knock you upside your head, do all this other stuff, girl or boy, especially while they're younger, because it's not too much of a difference between the girls and the boys and stuff. They get a little older, it's a little bit different. And my daughter understands that now with wrestling and stuff, that there's a difference, but still, I don't want her to let nobody be beating on her and stuff like that. And I also be clear to tell her, don't put your hands on nobody. All my daughters, like, don't put your hands on nobody if you don't want them coming at you. So that whole promotion thing, like, for other people, I don't have an issue. I'm talking about for me, and I don't. In my view on it is like, I don't think it's necessary, and I don't think it has anything to do with jujitsu as far as a promotion go. Like, if you don't, if a lot of people, here's the thing. Training with Jake and stuff, and training and learning like the real, like, basics in self-defense, and being and learning how to keep yourself safe doing jiu-jitsu. I learned a lot about just in the way he promoted. I learned a lot about each position, where I'm at, how it works for my body, and what to do in those positions for myself. I can't do what everybody else can do in jiu-jitsu. I just can't. Like, I'm not, my knees ain't built for it. My body ain't built for it. I can do all the submissions, all that other stuff, but there's some that I'm better at. There's some that I do better than others and stuff like that. There's certain moves that I can't do. But then because I'm bigger, there's other things that I can do. And going through the way Jake did it, it always seared all of the basics into my head. It was like, okay, you know how to defend yourself. You know how to do, you know what to do at mount position. You know what to do when somebody is in side control. You know what to do when somebody is mounted on you. You know what to do when somebody is on your back. You know what to do when somebody is in your guard. You know how to defend yourself. You know how to attack from each one of these positions. And going from white to blue, I had to demonstrate that. Going from blue to purple, I had to demonstrate that. I didn't do anything with purple belt. Then I ended up moving and all this other stuff. And what I found out is a lot of people that go through these belts, a lot of them don't be knowing, like, they can't really demonstrate what they do. Because a lot of it's just physically, some of it is just physically what comes natural to them. And some of it is just them just going through the motions. So they can't demonstrate what they do, and they don't even know what they do. And one of the things that really solidified that for me was since I left North Carolina and stopped training where I trained at, and not because I didn't I love them dudes. I still love all of them to this day. And if I went back, that's why I would try my best to get back to, or at least one of the ones is closer to it. But what it is that since I left, I'm gonna be honest, I have been like out of shape since I left, and I've gotten like bigger than what I used to be. But nobody can really, I haven't been like, I've rolled with a bunch of different people in Indiana, people in Wisconsin, all kind of stuff, right? And I'm a purple belt. And this is me rolling with purple belts that are, I've got the opportunity to roll with a lot more purple belts that are in their 20s, that are younger than me, or in blue belts, and even some brown and stuff like that. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to just run through me or tap me out because I'm fat, I'm out of shape, I can't breathe. I like, because work and traveling and stuff, it just kept me from it. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. But it's not that I can't breathe. It's just I have gained some weight since then, and I have not trained consistently. Like it's off and on. It's off and on. It's like 1 week and just at different places and stuff. But I haven't had that opportunity to do it. So there's no reason why these people shouldn't be able to do what they want to me. And the only thing I attribute it to is the training that I've had at Goes Bro Jiu-Jitsu with Jake and Stephen and Travis and everybody, and all of them, because I learned those basics and I had to get those basics seared into my brain. So I know that, hey, somebody mounts me. You keep your hands close. You don't stick your arms out. You don't do all of this. There's nothing up there for you to get. You keep your hands right here. You keep them right here. And you get your knee, you get on your side and get your knee to your elbow as quickly as you can. But still take your time. I'll take my time. That's what I do. Because my jiu-jitsu is slow. It is slow. Just it's methodical and slow. It can speed up sometimes, but it's slow. Now that I'm older, it's even slower. And it's a thing where it's like, okay, I know that once they get here, get on my side, do my elbow escape, catch that leg, get the half guard. Okay, I'm in half guard. Now, if they good, they usually gonna stop me from going full on to guard or wherever I'm gonna go at. But half guard is something that I can do. So I'm gonna get my underhooks, I'm gonna roll, I'm gonna do whatever. I'm gonna try to sweep that other leg, I'm gonna try to grab it, pull it in, and lift up and go. Or I might grab the belt or the pants and go from there. And but these are things that I had to learn, that I had to burn to my head while I was training through blue belt. And the good thing about blue belt when I did that was that I wasn't working as much, so I was able to train a lot more with Jake and my instructors and my people up there. So I got to figure out more of what worked for me. And so I had to demonstrate on my purple belt, and no, actually through my blue belt on each stripe, just like in the white belt. Through each stripe, you do the basics. And so this stripe, do you know how to do a hip bump escape? Do you know how to do an arm bar? You go through that. Then in blue, the stuff that you're working on, at least that's how he did it when we were there. It's changed now, and I'm pretty sure it's changed for the better because that man be on it. That man be on it. I love it. He be on it. He be always improving. Jake always improving. And so I had to demonstrate what I was working on for myself on top of the basics that I already knew on white belt. So I had to go through all of it again and put on top my man. I'm glad you made it. So I had to demonstrate what I knew on top of the basics. So I go through all of that, and on 1 stripe, 2 stripe, 3 stripe, 4 stripe, and then 5 is purple. And then I have to demonstrate all that stuff again. I have to demonstrate all the stuff that I built on top of each stripe, plus all the basic stuff that I did through white belt, and extra basics as far as like self-defense and basic movement and stuff. So going through all of that through all them years, and then the promotion, that was part of the promotion. That was one half of it. Then the other half is the train. Now there, I think with the whole slapping them across the back thing, I think they call it a gauntlet. Don't hold me to it. Don't hold me to it. But what we did was a train where you had to do 15 minutes. I think blue belt was like 15 minutes. And then you go 1 minute. At that time, it was 1 minute per person, right? It's 1 minute. You have to stand there 15 minutes, and one person jumps in. A fresh person jumps in every minute. And blue belt was rough. Then purple belt was just even rougher. That's when I was like, yo, the orca is my spirit animal. That's what I found out. And it was like, okay, so I had to do 30 minutes. And it was I think it was a new person every 2 minutes, 5 minutes for that one. They did a little bit different. But I had more black belts on that one. I had 3. I had 3 black belts on that one. And that was one, and to this day, that was one of the hardest things I've done that I've willingly put myself through. Like willingly, be like, yeah, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go do that. That's one of the hardest things I've done. And I don't know if the people that do the gauntlet thing, I don't know if they do that. I'm not saying that they do or they don't. I don't know. But if they don't, I'm like, okay, I've been through something different than what you did. And it was hard and it hurts. Like the further it goes along, it hurts. You might get somebody that's like, hey, I'm gonna let them breathe for a little bit. You might get somebody that's like, nope, I'm gonna run through them, just put you through it the whole time. Or you might get somebody that rides the wave where it's like, okay, I'm gonna be nice, then I'm gonna rough them up, then nice, I'm gonna rough them up again. And even with the black belts, what about my black belt? His name was Roy Marsh. He just put me through it. I was like, like Roy put me through it, and I was just like, Jesus, get up. And then it's like I get up, get put down, get up, get put down. Mind you, I'm 6'4", so getting up ain't the easiest thing sometimes, and I ain't got the best of knees for that. So I'm like, so even, and then when my instructor, he had certain moves that he does, and I knew the moves that it's like that sometimes, Stephanie. It's like that sometimes. And knowing the moves that my instructor does, like even with that, like I knew the moves that he would do. So I was like, not at this moment. Because the thing about the train is like you have to go through the promotions they were blocks. It was like you had the demonstration, then you had the train. If you fail the demonstration, you don't go to the train. But if you pass the demonstration and then you go to the train, but if you give up during the train, you're done. Like you don't get the promotion. And I was like, if I let him get me in this position where he goes north-south on me and puts my hands over and puts his pressure on my chest, if I let him do that after this whole 30 minutes, because it gets down to like the last 28 minutes, in the last 2 minutes, last 5 to 2 minutes, if I let him do that, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I was willing to let him take my arm. I was like, take it. You can tap me, you can do whatever, but I'm not letting you go over there. I'll turn. I'm not going there. I'm not going because if I do, I may not make it because I'm already like, I'm having the hardest time breathing, all kind of mess. But I got through it, and everything was good. But my thing was going back to the video again. It was just a thing where that gave, and one of the things we always talked about was that gave us the opportunity to demonstrate the jujitsu that we knew up to that point, what we knew up to that point. And if we could survive with the jujitsu that we knew, and then that purple and blue, going through that purple to blue, that's more of a, is this the now that wouldn't be a thing. So if you did that, then we have to take that leg home. If I did something like that, then they take my leg home. So I need my legs. They it gave us an opportunity to demonstrate the jujitsu that we knew, not just walking and getting yeah. Again, I don't know. I'm not saying that they don't do that. I'm not saying they don't have demonstrations. I'm not saying that. I don't know. I ain't never took part of it, and I won't because I'm not getting beat with the belt. I'm just not. I'm not saying they do, they don't. I don't know. But what we did, it gave an opportunity to be like, yo, from white to blue, blue to purple, purple to brown, or whatever the case may be, this is what I know. And I can survive this hard situation with a bunch of fresh opponents with the jiu-jitsu I know, with what I've been doing. And it gives you a chance to prove that. Like, okay, you can demonstrate it, but can you use it and keep yourself safe in a situation where all the odds are stacked against you and everybody is fresh? And the problem is, if these people are bigger than you, depending on who shows up, are they bigger than you? Is it a bunch more higher belts with you? How does it work? So it all depends. But I felt like that way was always more of a jiu-jitsu thing, not just walking through and getting hit with a belt. That's more of a college hazing thing. And I don't. Nah, that wasn't even me dealing with folks in high school. Hey, man, we're gonna do this and we're gonna kick everybody in the nuts. Man, get out of here. We're gonna do this and we're gonna punch everybody in the chest, and then we're gonna do this, and then if you don't, we get to hit you over the head with a. Go on somewhere with that. Now you're gonna walk through and we're gonna hit everybody with bags of flour and fuck all that. I ain't doing none of that. I ain't about that life. Go do that with somebody else. I'm not doing that. And I wouldn't do that to nobody either. Because if I hit somebody, or if I hit somebody with something, I expect them to hit me back. Matter of fact, if I just exactly, bro. Exactly. I don't care what it no. And I ain't with the following either. And I'll even expand on that. If I randomly hit somebody, it's a good chance that I want them to hit me back. Like if I just walk up to somebody and haul off and hit them, I most likely want them to fight me. Like I'm not gonna stand there and think that, you know what, you shouldn't do anything to me. So that's just me, though. That's just me. That's just the triflingness of me. That's just me. So it's not that if that's what they do, that's fine. But I think it's more of a goofy college frat boy hazing tactic than it has to do with jiu-jitsu. Because again, I don't know if they do the other part. They could. I don't know. Oh yeah. No, man. Nah, I'm with you on that. I seen some of that stuff and I was just like, nah, y'all not gonna like me. Because when it comes to certain things, I'm just saying no. I'm just like, nah. Well, you can get out. Peace out then. I'm not. I even do it at work. They'll be like, look, I need to be off by this. Matt, can you do this? No. I won't say work because it's my business. It's my business. But it's like, no. Can you come in? No. Is there anything that can change it? No. This is my stuff. This is what I'm gonna do. I don't work for you. I'm not doing that. So I don't like the idea of being a punching bag in any form of fashion. And I was always appreciative of the way that we did the promotions, because for me, and I always told my instructor, it was never for me, it was never about I gotta get this belt, I gotta do this now. That was never the thing for me. But learning, oh man, what I learned, man, that mess done stuck with me forever. Even being out of shape and not training consistently, I can still do and hang with folks. I may not be able to dominate folks, but you're not gonna they just not gonna run through me. And I've noticed that from training with places in Indiana to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, other places I've been through with my training and stuff. So I'm just like, yo, man, it's not, it's this ain't no, there's no way that I'm just gonna be fine with doing certain things. So what I was saying with that is that there's, even though, because it was a question about them being skilled, I don't know if this person is skilled or not by slapping them with a belt. Now, if this is only if they don't have to do any kind of demonstration. That's only that. If there's no demonstration of what you know, or putting you through something to show that you know what you're doing without the whole flippy floppy rolling around stuff, then it is what it is. But some of the best people do it. Some of the best people do it. And hey man, I ain't got nothing to say about if that's what they do, that's their business. Again, that's what they business. But that's just me. So that's all. That's what I got. It ain't. I'm not big on being. I'm not big on being the whipping boy, so to speak. Oh yeah, most definitely, most definitely, most definitely. For me, I learned a lot about just jujitsu in general, but it also kept me focused on who I was, especially during blue the purple. It was like that's when I figured out, okay, man, I'm like this is my body type. This is what I can do. I need to make sure that everything I do revolves around that. No more going off doing too many other things. I'm just going to improve. I'm going to improve on these things and learn everything and then take what works for me. And that's basically how I took it. Now, I still need to do more. There's still a lot, but I'm not interested. The thing about it is, like, I'm not interested from getting promoted from nobody else or doing anything. Or if I see somebody getting whooped across the back and they're like, "Hey, Matt, we want to promote you." Nah, that's okay, player. Keep that brown belt. Keep your black belt. I don't want no part of that. This yeah, you go ahead. Yeah, I know that. Like, because I can't. I'm like, I can't beat all y'all, but I can shoot you. No, it ain't that serious. It ain't that serious. It's not that serious. Oh, that popped back up. Oh yeah, like um, that's what jujitsu did. It was like, okay, and especially like the submission only matches. That's what a lot of them did, where it's like you just go and you just there. It's like, well, I'm not about to just let you tap me. So we're gonna be here for a while. I don't care. I will slow this down if I have to, just to get my brains back and to keep going through whatever I gotta go through. Um, so yeah, and then certain even certain training sessions can get like that. It's like you be wanting to stop, and the only thing you tell yourself is like, keep going, keep going, keep going. This ain't on nothing that they do. Nothing that they do is if you stop, it's your fault. If I get caught, it's my fault. And even if this person is extremely better than me, I need to do my best with what I have. And sometimes when the person is extremely better, it's not necessarily your fault, but still. Um, so yeah, Mikey picked up the right thing. And and yeah, knowing your limitations is the best thing for the most part. Cause I'm like, yo, I can't be jumping and doing certain things. I can't move around like some of y'all can. Cause my body, just my knees and stuff ain't meant for that. But but I can still grab a leg. But that was one of the biggest things for me too. It was just like, man, I'm tired, I'm hurt, I'm whatever. Keep going. Except for when I broke my arm, I didn't know what was going on. That was crazy. And when I hurt my ribs, that was something else. And that came back to get me. But outside of stuff like that, if I lost to something, I was never like, man, this person, why this person do that? Man, the referee should stop. I was thinking like, man, why did I let them do that? I knew good and well, especially when I learned more. Oh man, I was like, I shouldn't have never let that happen. I shouldn't have never let that happen. I knew I could have set back. I could have did something. There was always something else I could have did. Like I said, unless the person was just that much better than me, and even then, there was stuff that I should have known or I should have done. And then you know what you do? You go and you work on it. So all I'm saying, all I'm wait. Oh yeah, yeah. Them like basics of jujitsu, man. Like the solid basics, shit. I miss them thing that has been my go-to since I left. Like if I'm like, okay, I can't do some of my old fancier stuff, but I know I can do all my bases. I can know I can do my armbar. I know I can get to guard. I know I can keep this person from popping me. I know I can keep this person from passing my guard. Oh, they passed my guard. I know I can get in half guard and keep myself safe here. And I can go to some of my half guard movements. I know I can get my sweeps from half guard. Oh my God. Somehow they didn't got out my half guard. They didn't directly mount me. Okay. So they on side control. Okay. I know what to do from side control. Same old, same old, same old, same old, same old, same old. They mount me. Some of them I let them mount me. It's like, you know what? Just mount me because I know where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna slide out. I'm gonna get on, and then I'm gonna end up in some weird position where we're spinning doing half, and I'm gonna get you somewhere, or I'm gonna just slow this whole thing down and put you where I want to. And the beautiful thing, like I said, going through the way we did it, not getting slapped across the back, going through the way we did it, it burned it into my head. So now there's no way I'm going to forget this stuff. Like the stuff that I've been put through for it to get those promotions. Like there's no way I'm forgetting my basics. I roll around with my daughters. I roll around with other people, and it's to this day, it's still like I don't forget that stuff. Some of the other stuff I might be like, that's a little bit too fast, but I can look. That might be I might be trying to do some of the more fancy stuff. I might be like, yeah, and forget a step, but the basics, nah, nah. They not as clean as, but you're not just gonna run over me. So all I'm saying with that is, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. You do that. You and your buddies and everybody beat each other to death. I ain't with it because I don't feel like it's necessarily useful to jujitsu. I'm not saying that none of them boys and them everybody in there could probably run through me. I'm not. That's not going to change my thoughts. You could all of them could tap me 10 times in a row. I'm not going to say, man, you know what? I was wrong. I'm like, look, I'm you still not going to do it to me, and I still don't agree with it. But it worked for y'all, so that's what you believe. This is what I believe. That's all it is to it. You believe what you believe, and I believe what I believe. So yeah, that's all, man. And I use that even with my creating. Like people ask me when it comes to like creating in the comic industry, and people were like, man, you just keep going how you do and this and that, because none of it is hard to me. Like it's not hard, and it's not anything that's going to hurt me. Like I done broke this arm, jacked this shoulder, messed up these ribs, same knee, right knee. I think I got heel hooked so much when we was getting ready for a fight. I done messed myself up out the fight. Everything. It's just I don't like dealing with the stuff about like getting books to people, writing, getting all that done, getting my books to people, finding new people. None of that stuff is to the point where I'm just like, yo, I can't do this, and this is terrible, and this is just so hard. It's easy. I can figure that out. It's easy. It's easy. Now I hit roadblocks just like everybody else. It's not like I just bowl through and I just do fine. Going to cons and selling stuff is easy. You ain't nobody gonna punch me in my face. anybody gonna choke me? I done, I done been choked. So I'll never forget the one time my instructor, we were rolling, and he put me in like this modified clock choke. It's basically where I'm on my hands and knees, he's under my collar, and it takes it and chokes me. In my mind, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Everything's fine. I'm gonna be all right. Yeah. And he's going. I'm like, I can still breathe. I can still breathe. I'm grabbing my collar a little bit. I'm trying to move. And then he lets go. Yes, I will be there. I will be there. I will be at Black Comics Day. I missed it last year, but I will definitely be there next month. I will be there. Coming from Milwaukee, but I'll be there. And so he lets go. He was like, I don't think you're right. He was like, I was like, man, why are you gonna let go, Jay? I'm thinking in my head, I'm not saying this, but I'm like, man, no, I'm good. I'm good. I stand up. I'm like, and just go, wow, fall face first. The right side, I couldn't breathe or hear. It was like everything on the right side of my body was just like done. So I'm laying down, I'm looking up, I'm like, oh, let me get my brains back. Get my brains back for a second. And I've never forgot that. So going to a con and somebody telling me no, looking crazy at me, yeah. I'll live. Finding people to buy my book from me, if you don't want it, I'll live. If you don't say the best things about me on the internet, I'll live. Like, no, man, no, that's not. Nah, I done been through worse. So that's how I always see it, and that's why I just keep going. It's like they ain't gonna murder me or kill me or nothing. Oh man, most definitely, it'd be good to finally see you, brother. It'd be good to finally see you. I like to hear that. Yeah, my man Keithan, he does such a good job with that. He was part of my like a big inspiration for me with doing SableCon and stuff like that. So nothing but respect for that. So I'll be out there most definitely. But yeah, man, my creating and everything, and just keep going and finding ways to get out of it. Do what I got to do to not letting it just take me over and be like, man, I suck and this and that. It's like I've been through worse. I've been through some of my Facebook friends in North Carolina that put me through worse. So I'm like, I appreciate them for that. Even the ones that's not at my school, opponents that I've had, they've put me through worse. So none of this stuff is gonna stop me. You just keep going. You keep going and you figure it out, and you learn where you messed up at, and you improve on it as fast as you can. You go ahead, go out there, look crazy, mess up, and improve as fast as you can. I don't know about that. That's Appleton. No, I am. That's a business phone. I ain't going nowhere no either. I'm fine with that actually. I don't mind doing that nowhere. I will wrestle, spar, fight anybody, anywhere, and then we can go sit out and have us a good old fashioned time and talk about it and have dinner, lunch, or something. Get us some drinks or something. Even though I don't drink like that, but it definitely do that stuff. It's cool. Yeah, Black Comics Day is held at the World Beat Center by Keithan, my man Keithan Jones from Kid Comics in San Diego, California. And I'll be there next month, and it's amazing. Like, I got to help one year, then I got to come there the next year, I believe. Then I got to come there next year, and then COVID happened, and then the other one I missed. So because my little woman was being born, and now this one I'm getting to go back to. So I'm like, yay! Nothing but good folks there, and everything is good about that con. I ain't got nothing bad to say about that one. Nothing. The whole process is easy. We get in there, we sell, and folks be making money and stuff too. So like I said, my man Keith, and ain't nothing bad about him coming out my mouth. So it is what it is. But yeah, oh, good. Yeah, San Diego. I love San Diego. I grew up not too far away from it, so we got to go down there to the Oceanside and everything. Went to Oceanside a lot, San Diego a few times, but I'm glad that I'm going to get to see you in May for SableCon. I'm glad you're getting to come through. I'm still getting everything together, and so far the reception for it has been pretty good. So I need everybody to share it, like it, all that good stuff. Even if you ain't gonna be able to come, just share everything, the event, all that good stuff. Because this one is pretty good. Because I feel like a lot of the black cons, and as always, I tell folks, like white folks, everybody, you can come, you can come buy stuff, you can come see stuff, you can come do whatever, table, all that stuff. This ain't nothing where you can't come. Get your white ass out of here. It ain't nothing like that. It ain't nothing like that. I think some people be trolling me, sending me messages when it comes to that, and it's gonna be funny to just see it keep happening. I'm gonna talk about it every time it happens. So it's a little funny. Yeah. Get as many as the little people out there and stuff. It's just for everybody to come out, experience it and everything. So yeah, that's all I got right now. I gotta call some people and get some other stuff done for my business and everything. That's probably what they got happening. But for all y'all that kicked it with me and everything, I thank you. Go to kachicomics.com, sign up for SableCon to get in there, get your poster and stuff. If you're a vendor, all that good stuff, holla at me. Send us a message at mattjones@akachicomics.com. That's the email. You can do that, or just go to the website at akachicomics.com and you can sign up for it. Message me on Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff for the people that see it somewhere else. We can get you in and all that good stuff. As always, I appreciate y'all coming and go to akachicomics.com. I'll let y'all later. Thanks for wait, what? nobody, 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 not at all. Yep. See you next month, man. Thank you. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.